Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Cork Model Farms here. So today is episode 3 of my Iberia / Spain and Portugal road trip. Today's video is probably the most exciting of the 3 so far, in my opinion. This is going to be me doing the limitzero zip line from Spain to Portugal. So it is a cross-border zip line, starting in Spain, ending in Portugal. So, pretty much, I don't know when they started doing this, but they must have started doing it after the EU was created and the Schengen. So there's obviously free travel, as I said before. So you go up to this. So we arrived from the Portuguese side because it was just easier for us. So there's 2 towns on both sides, if you can see in the picture. The one, if you're looking north, that is the Portuguese town of Alcotim. And then if you're looking south, that is the Spanish town of Sanlúcar de Guadiana. Both are about the same size with kind of a similar population. There's probably a bit of rivalry between the 2 of them. So one is in the Portuguese district of Faro in the Algarve region of Portugal, and the other is in the Huelva province of Andalusia, or Andalucia in Spanish, in the south of Spain. So they're nearly like 2 different places, but they're so close to each other. The zipline actually cut through somebody's farm. There was a shed full of bales. It was funny. And I'll talk about the farming more when I'm showing off the clips. And I'll just be talking more about the town and obviously the zipline itself. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Right, so here we are now, just arriving, just on the outskirts of the village. I've got lots of clips of the fruit farms and the forests on the roads, so it'll be entirely new different video to that, but it was beautiful. And then here we are pulling in to the town. There was a John Deere back there. I didn't manage to get a video of it though. Here is the village. Quite a nice village, if I do say so myself. It was really peaceful. It just kind of gave you a sense of like community when you're there. So here we are now at the dock, and that's Spain on the other side of the River Guanaria, and the border is right in the middle of the river. So that was very interesting. Here's just another clip of that. And there was one of those little green boats that brought us across, and that's the Spanish town of Sanlúcar de Guadiana, and they have a castle up there as well. There was also a castle in Alcotim, which was kind of cool. So both towns had a castle, and then here's Alcotim, and that's the Alcotim castle up there. And they both had flags, and it was like they were having a flag off, like they were trying to both compete with each other with the flags. Then here's just me walking around the town, or the village, kind of in the centre. It was quiet enough because it was very early in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock when I was filming this, or 9 o'clock, because we had to get there. It took like an hour to drive here, so we had to get there early. And then this was like a little memorial. I think these were like people from Alcotim who went to Portuguese colonies in Africa. So that's Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, that's Mozambique and Angola. And I think people from the village went there. And then this little dog was following me around the place. He was a lovely dog. I have a few clips of him as well. But he was following me around everywhere. He wasn't a stray. I think he was owned by someone because he had a collar on him, but he was just left to wander around since it's such a small place, everyone would kind of know each other. There was a few windmills up there on the Spanish side and wind turbines in the distance up in the mountainous areas. This is just a museum for some fella. I didn't get really invested in that. Here's just another clip of me walking around the place. Really nice village. As I said, there wasn't that many people out, so I didn't get to really meet any of the locals. A few people just passed and I just said hola, just trying to be nice. Yeah, and as I said, most of the shops were closed. But here's the centre again, and that's the plaque and the memorial. And then here's the little dog lying down again. He was sitting on the bench, and then I sat down next to him, and he rubbed up against me. And then this was another little thing, something about Portugal being a republic, I think. I don't actually speak Portuguese. I'm trying to learn it, but I don't speak much. I know a few words, and that's about it. And then that sign was actually, I know that Castello means castle, so that was pointing to where to go to the castle, like how one of the Portuguese districts is called Castelo Branco, which I think means White Castle. And then here's the little dog, funny little fella, rubbing up against me. This was very strange, this thing, it was like a cat made out of metal. Interesting though, and speaking of cats, there were loads of cats around the place. Now, I don't really like cats, so that was a bit of a problem for me. They keep rats away at least. And then this was the castle, the Castello. This was the walk up, so I sadly didn't get to go in because it was too early in the morning and there was nobody there, and it cost €3 to get in, which I could have done, but there was just nobody there. I researched it. It was built by the Moors from North Africa in, I think it was like the 14th century. And it stayed there ever since the Spanish and Portuguese kicked the Moors out of Iberia. It's still there. So Castelo de Alcotim has stayed. And it's still up there with a big Portuguese flag, right and then on the opposite end there's a Spanish castle, which I didn't really research much about, and I didn't really research much about the Spanish side because we didn't spend that much time. That we had to get over to the Spanish side to do the thing, but I didn't research much about it. But here this is just another shot of the town from above, and then here we are. This is where the castle begin, like where you go in, but there was nobody there, so I couldn't get in. I did try and get like a shot through you couldn't see much, but there was a little kind of crack in the door, so I was trying to get that. Sorry about the camera work here. Just trying to get that in there. It will work in a minute, just bear with me. Here it is. So you can't really see much, but you can see a small bit. Then here, that's the Spanish one again. The Spanish castle is slightly bigger, I think. And then this was a cool little statue. This was of a smuggler, and then this was a little plaque with the friendship between the two towns. You could pause that if you want to look at it. And it's funny because there's one on both sides, and that one says P for Portugal. And then there's another one. And then this was a little farm with Massey Ferguson out there. And then and then there was another sign for the castle and stuff. And this was just more of the town. I've got a good few. This is the last clip of the town of Alcotim, I think. But just enjoy the last bit of it here. Now this was a few hours later, so it was a bit more busy. Now here we are on the boat heading over the border to Spain. Somewhere where that post is the exact border. So now we were in Portugal and now we're in Spain. So cool to change countries. I've never actually been to an international border in my life. I've only been to county borders. Obviously I've crossed the Kerry and Cork one many times, but I've obviously flew to different countries, but not on land. I've never crossed it. Sorry about the camera thing again, it keeps doing that. And then here is the plaque again, but that I didn't show it there, but it said E on the back for España or Spain. And then here it is. This is the limitzero, getting ready. And this was the Spanish town of Sanlúcar de Guadiana, sorry. And here I am, getting ready to go. Now, there was just a safety demo going on before this, and also somebody had to stop and ask a question, so there was a small bit of a little delay, but I'm getting all ready to go. And then somebody asked a question, and he told me to get down. There was just some problem. There's the castle in the background, if you can see it. And then somebody asked a question, obviously, and he responded. I muted out the clips, obviously. And here I go. Just getting ready to go now, so he's opening the door now. He was just saying that we're ready, and off we go now, and I am off. So currently still in Spain. This was a brilliant zip line. I do have to recommend, if you're ever in the area, go to limitzero. It's amazing. So Spain, and then at around this exact point, Portugal. And as you can see, getting close to landing, I become a dot in the end, really. And there I am, and there's the shed and the olive trees. So it's just somebody's farm, I think. Anyway. And here is my picture. Now, I look, it was taken so quickly. I was just roaring, screaming. Everybody was. So that's why my face looks a bit kind of red. And you can read all the description on there. Sanlúcar de Guadiana, Huelva, España, and Alcotim, Algarve, Portugal. And then the two flags down at the bottom, and limitzero and www.limitzero.com. It's not www, it's not .e or .p, it's .com. Because you don't know what country you're booking it in, pretty much. Also, another little fun fact that a lot of people don't actually know is I actually went time travelling while I was when I was taking the boat and when I was taking the zip line. So currently, not currently. When I was taking the boat, it was 9 o'clock on the Portuguese side, and then when you crossed over the border into Spain, it was 10 o'clock. Then when I was on the thing, it was like 10:30, and then the second I shot across, I went back in time to 9:30. So that was a little interesting. So I've successfully gone time travelling once in my life. Just a nice little interesting fact to keep. And to finish things off, I'm going to do this little thing that I thought I'd do, where I'm going to, when I'm on the Spanish side, I'm going to have the Spanish national anthem playing. It's the same clip again. I'll just cut out the bit at the beginning. And then the second I cut to Portugal, the Portuguese national anthem. So, enjoy. Right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed. I think it was a really good video, and I would definitely recommend doing the limitzero experience, not just for the border thing. It's just such a great experience. It was so much fun, such a good zip wire. Usually I don't even like zip wires, but that was just brilliant. I also forgot to mention about the farming in the area. So both Spain and Portugal have similar enough farming. It's just in Spain, on the Spanish side, there was a bit more like pigs, I think, black Iberian pigs. They produce the most expensive ham in the world, the black Iberian ham, which is the cured ham. So black Iberian pigs, and they're left to roam free in the provinces of Andalusia and Extremadura. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.